Okay. What day is today? Wednesday. Damn, it's already Wednesday. Wednesday recap today. Ooh, don't look at that. That's bad. Um, so going over the day, I marked everything pre-market. I'm top in the 1 minute to see if there's any entries, but looks like there would have been. But I'll go into that. Starting off on the day, we had a pretty big SMT with a high right here. And so I was looking for shorts going into the day. Um, so hold on, let me scroll over real quick. Let me get ES right real quick too. Okay. So 9:30 opens right here. So we look bearish right now, right? We have an SMT at these lows, and off of that SMT, we displace higher, like crazy. We displace crazy higher. Now, one thing that is throwing me off in this, you might be able to see it. ES isn't doing shit. ES didn't do anything. Uh, it literally just chopped around. If we're going higher, this gap is 100% supporting us. But it's not yet confirmed in my opinion. So, not taking anything there. But when ES gets above this high and we displace above it right here, and NQ does the same exact thing, the draw is higher. Like it's almost guaranteed. So what we do here is we tap into this 5 minute fair value gap all the way down here. Like yesterday, another candle where in a split second it just fucking plummets. It just like I don't know how many points is this? Just 75 to like I would say it was at least a 30-point move in like a literal like split instant. Um, so we come in, tap that fair value gap, get a good rejection, and we inverse this 1 minute. This is an entry. I was going to enter this. Reason why I didn't enter is just because that candle threw me the fuck off, and I just after that I did not want to take anything. Um, and yeah, it ended up being a break even trade anyways because ES swept that high and Q didn't, and then we retraced down here. I would have been break even. So whatever. We don't displace with this high. We come back, chop around, chop, 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 all that crap. Then we displace down here, and I'm looking at this wick, seeing because this is a good liquidity point. See if you want to go down there. We displace a little bit below these lows, but really not enough for me to take my trade, my new model that I'm taking. Um, so basically, I just want to see how we react from these fair value gaps. What we do is we inverse them. We come into this 5 minute gap. There's a 5 minute gap right here, and we dump like this. Um, to me, this is basically saying that these lows are guaranteed. Um, this would be an entry. I would wait for a retrace. But if I waited for the retrace, stop right here, TP down here. Only reason why I didn't hit because ES swept that low. As soon as the ES swept that, would have been break even. Another break even trade there. But what this does is we put in an SMT here, right? It's an SMT, and Q is the more bullish pair, and we inverse this big 1 minute gap. Now, again, according to my rules, if I did take this, I was off by then because it's already 11:15 and I had shit to do today. So, but stops would be here, break even at this high, and then TP would have been at those highs. Um, but yeah, what we do is we sweep that and then we immediately retrace, break even, and then go higher. Um, to me, we can come into this fair value gap, support that, and do whatever. But it's just not 100% confirmed because we're still kind of in chop right now. We strong displacement up, strong displacement down, strong displacement up. Like it's not really showing you clearly where we're going. But that is a good entry if you didn't go break even to hold to these highs even. So um that's probably honestly the trade of the day. But then after that we go this is my target right here, right? So we displace above these highs, kind of sorta. Not very strong, and ES just swept them, so it wouldn't really take this gap. This, however, right here, in my opinion, this is a little bit better. This is something I would take low risk if I were to take something. because technically this fair value gap is mitigated. There's nothing else down here that would need to be mitigated. So entry would have been these fair value gaps holding and taking it to this high. I would hold to, I mean, I would do 1.5 RR. So we get tagged in at this candle, would see this chop, and honestly, I probably would have gone out and then TP hits. So it just, there's a lot of safety measures in my strategy just to make sure I don't take a losing trade. Um, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Um, Looking at ES, right? There's a target up here, which is the high up here. And so there's really nothing for us to reject from up there. But ES sweeps this, right? There's no SMT because there was already SMT up here. But the fact that we're going higher, the fact that we displace like this means that the SMT is kind of invalid. We shouldn't do that. We get this beautiful retrace, right? And so to me, these lows are pretty free. Um, and if we displace lower, we can eventually go to these lows and this low down here, which you do end up hitting. So let's see what setups there were, right? So we get this V shape. That's entry in itself. You know, if you want to take, we inverse all those gaps right there. So you enter here, here. Let's say you target this. It's not bad. Or you want to target the bottom of the range. You know, that's 5R if you want to hold throughout the whole entire day. Um, but let's see what I would have taken here. So right away, right? You want to see if, because we are short right here, but what can we react off of that could take us higher? You know, you want to think the opposite way to make sure that there is nothing in the opposite way to invalidate your trade, basically. So after this candle right here, this we invert this gap, 10-minute gap we invert, and 15-minute gap we invert. So actually 15-minute close would have been down here. So when price gets down to around like 125, so 125, 125, we're confirmed we're going lower, right? There's nothing else stopping us to going to this low down here. So what do? We wait for a retrace. We retrace into this 15-minute gap up here, okay? And we're waiting for some sort of displacement from this gap. Let's look at ES, just to correlate everything, see if there's SMTs and such. There was, okay. So right here, we put in an SMT. Actually, whoa, even higher SMT. Because yeah, we took out that high. So we have an SMT right here. We're inside a 15-minute gap right here. And now we just want to take it to these lows probably. Let me see if there's any fair value gaps on the higher time frame that we inverse or that is in the way. Okay. So honestly, a read here would not have been bad. Take the 5-minute inverse, stops at the high, TP at the low. Hmm. Let's see, would that have been reasonable? I would have put my stops there. Would have gotten really fucking close, and I definitely would have gotten a little nervous. Um, I mean, the read isn't bad. Yeah, this is basically like the model that I was thinking of actually. You wait for a tap back into here. You wait, these for value gaps should hold, right? Um, Actually, ES is a little bit cleaner on it. And yeah, you take it to the lows. Me, if I'm taking this, right, I'm taking it at a 1.5 R because those are my rules for this. So I get filled in here. These for value gaps reject. We come all the way up here. ES, if you're looking at ES, we're still at the top of that for value gap, so we can still technically reject. And if I'm not taking this, right, I'm just waiting for some sort of um, reaction from it. We're inside this 5-minute gap right here, and we get this candle. That candle in itself is the entry. That is the most optimal spot to take this trade. Um, take to the lows, boom, easy. And let's see if there was anything else to take today, because it looks like these levels definitely were hit. So let's see. Okay, this is a another trade that I that looks valid to me. So what do we do right here? We have all these fair value gaps stopping us from going down. We inverse all of them without taking out this low. We have a fair value gap open up. Big stop. Put your stop at these highs and go break even at this low. You would have gone break even. But if you took it to this low, which is a trade in itself, 1.5 RR, and no S&Ts, no nothing. Yeah, that's a good trade in my opinion. You're reading, I'm guessing the 5 minute again too, because we inverse the 5 minute. Okay, yeah, so we inverse it here actually. So hold on. So you inverse the fair value gap down here. So at this point, honestly, since it inverse it down here, right? I'd wait for some sort of manipulation and some displacement. I think the entry, if I were to take anything, would have been this candle, but then again, it's all chop, so never mind. It would not be a trade that I would take. We displace lower, this gap holds, blah blah blah. Okay, and we do have a 5 minute gap tap on ES actually. Okay, so here's the thing, right? You have a 5 minute gap here on ES. I'm guessing this might have been like a 4 minute or something. Yeah. So then there's no 5 minute here, but there's a 4 minute gap, which in my opinion is good enough because these lows look pretty free, right? So we come into this gap, you want to see something. See if this candle closed like here, that would be the entry. If it like closed here, stops at these highs, TP at the lows, easy. But the thing is, that's not confirming enough, and then this candle closed all the way down there. So not really much to take there. And yeah, the volume died off. So going over, he honestly, PM session looks like the move, in my opinion. Um, there was this 5 minute displacement trade right here, or since everything was inverse in this leg, I would have also taken a draw read here. Would have gone freak the fuck out with that. I'm not gonna lie, but you know, still the trade worked out. And yeah, so there's those two trades. This trade invalidated because of chop, and but if I didn't take it with the chop, I would have just entered with it and I would have been out of it anyways, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, there's nothing in the AM, only PM shit, and I was only trade PM, so whatever. But yeah, that's it. How was the workout, boys?